All right. I just want to say welcome to everybody this to this morning's open session webinar, and this will be recorded and will be posted up on the help desk for anybody who wants to review it later. I know several people have said that they won't be able to join this morning, so they'll be watching it when they get a chance. So what we're going to do today is what we've been doing for a number of sessions in the recent past. I'm here for the next hour, so for anybody who has a question or concern, anything that they want to bring up and maybe get a more immediate response than an email or a ticket or a forum, then I'm here to help y'all understand how to get stuff done on your site. So if you want to, your microphones are they're not muted right now. So if you have one and you would like to just ask a question, then you can do that. If you're not asking a question, then if you can make sure to mute your microphone so that we don't get too much background noise. And otherwise, you can just type your questions into the chat channel, and I'll pick them up as we go.
Dean, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Who's this?
This is Barbara at Harney County Library.
Oh, it's good to hear from you.
Yeah, I know I've done a lot of emails with you, but I am having a problem and I never could quite resolve it. The drop-down list at the top of the page, it's on all the pages. You have to click on the, like it would be kids, and you have to click on that, the drop-down list, and you have to click on the kids also, again, to go to the
Yes.
Is there some way to get rid of having to double-click all of that? Okay, even the Western History Room?
Mm-hmm.
You have to go down and click on Western History Room to go to that page instead of just clicking on the top thing and being able to go to the home page.
Right.
There's some way we can make that so we can just click on the tab up on top and go directly to that page?
That is something that we're working on. So what we've got right now, so the way that this navigation menu is set up at the moment is that it'll each one will display when you click it open. It will show you all of the folders that are inside that folder. So like in the Western History Room, you've got your special collections, your genealogical research, your photo galleries, and so the intent here is for you to be able to just navigate quickly to any of those places you want to go. And then the Western History Room home is so that you can actually get to the folder itself. So I guess, are you saying that for this one you would prefer to be able to just go straight to the Western History Room folder and not have the options to have the subfolders here?
I like the subfolders there, but on other sites, when you would click on Western History Room, it would take you to the Western History Room, or you could choose one of the others. You didn't have to double click on Western History Room to get to it.
I guess.
Do you understand what I mean?
I'm trying to. So if I click on here,
it used to take. It would put this drop-down list down here, or it would take you directly to the Western History Room. You wouldn't have to click twice to get there.
Oh, so you mean like if you click on the name, it would take you to the folder, and if you click on the arrow, it would.
Correct.
It would open the menu. Okay.
Correct.
So you're. Okay, I see what you're saying. I don't think we've discussed doing that. I'm not. I can ask the developers about whether that's something we can do. But
what I'm trying to do is keep it down to as few clicks as I can for people to get to traverse the site.
Right. What can we do about that?
Have a good day, guys.
Yeah, I mean, so I guess that would be. I see what you're saying. What I'm thinking about right now is kind of like how to implement that, like from our end, and like what confusions that we'd have to work through, because I do understand what you're asking for, and it's not something that we've looked at doing. I can bring it up and see what our developers say about what we can do. But right now, I think the only way we would be able to get it to a one-click is if the subfolders were not options here, which I don't think is what you want.
No, you're correct. That's not what I want.
Yeah. So I don't think we have a way to do that at the moment.
All right. Thank you.
But I'll bring up to them that that's something that you're interested in, and that makes sense to me. So maybe there's something we can do.
Thank you.
Yeah. Nanette, is there a way to change the color of the black navigation bar? No, we don't have any customization around that right now. I know that we're working on rolling out some color palette options in the near future. I don't remember if that is something that will change as a part of it. I wouldn't be surprised if it's not. Stephanie, and I know, I think you've asked about the carousels, and I do apologize for not getting an answer to you sooner. I know right now we don't have the native support up for carousels, right? So we don't have, like, you can't go to the menu and click add new and add carousel. There is a carousel as part of one of the features that we're going to be rolling out in the near future, but we don't have that on there yet. And I know that I saw the Dripping Springs, Texas website. The site admin for that actually figured out, like, he threw some carousels in there himself, and so I might talk to him and see what he did there, because it was all kind of through just editing the page that he was able to get that in. So in the meantime, while we're waiting for that feature, then maybe we can get you some instructions on how to do it simply in a more manual fashion, so that you can get what you're looking for. Okay, and Marianne, I see you said you have a navigation bar question. If you want to type that in the channel, then I'll be happy to get to it in a second, as soon as you've got it out there. Is there a way to change the size of the portlets? No, those are a static size. Are you trying to, like, make them bigger or smaller? Because that's something that we can look at adjusting in future, like, theming options that we provide. Okay. Yeah, the carousel, like I said, the carousel is something that we've been working on what the implementation is going to be like for that, and that's the details on our end. I don't want you guys have to worry about that, but it has meant that we've had to delay rolling it out a little bit. I do apologize for that. Okay, so the font and layout and the banner, that's something that we've gotten a lot of feedback about, and that's one of the features that we're working on most. Like, that's one of our highest priority ones, and so we're looking at having right now we're trying to schedule some things for a release next week. Probably, and we tend to do them on Thursday nights, and so you'll probably get you'll be getting a message from us that says your site's going to be down for a brief time for maintenance on Thursday night, and that's we're going to be rolling out some changes, some updates there, and I'm hoping that we can get that to y'all with that. Way to rearrange the navigation bar over. So the navigation bar order, I think, is going to be determined by. Check this before I say something that is or isn't true.
That's it. Blow your nose into the microphone.
Is that what that was?
I believe that the navigation bar order is going to be determined by the order of folders in your home folder. And so in the contents view, you can actually drag this little slider and move things around. I don't want to move. This is Barbara's site, and I don't want to mess with it. But you should be able to move those around within the folder, and that should rearrange them on the navigation menu. Is there a way to change the size? Or sorry, let me go back up here. Since we have a logo with our name in it, put nothing in the title. So as far as leaving the title blank, if you put a space in instead of any text, it will show up just as not being there. The downside of that is that it will impact the searchability of your site. So search engines use that site title field to kind of index things, so it makes it a little bit harder to find your library's website. So as a part of that, I know a number of people have said, another number of libraries have said, oh, we have our title in our logo, so we don't need this here. So as I was saying about the customizations in the header section that we're looking to roll out, hopefully I'm pushing for that to get done in the next release, which should be next week.
I left them on a computer.
Let's see, is there a way to change the size or color of the header text in the portlets? No, we don't have any way to customize those right now other than just changing the themes. And right now the themes are all pretty similar just because they're kind of basic starting options, but we are looking at rolling out new ones on a regular schedule. And so if there's things like that people are interested in, then that themes that come out in the future might have different options for what those headers look like.
In order, I have another question about the navigation bar, but let's answer the other people.
Okay.
This is Barbara.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to put like the kids up on the navigation bar, but I have not been able to get it up there. How can I do that?
That's odd. I wonder why is it not up there? Okay, so the kids is just a page. It's not a folder itself. And so right now the top navigation bar is only going to show folders that are in the main section. So if you have a folder named kids, then it'll show up there, but the page won't. And that's currently, I mean, there's some behind the scenes reasons that's happening. But
can I make a folder of kids then?
Yes, you can. Okay, and let's see, to piggyback on the portlet question, is there a way to eliminate some of the spacing top and bottom of the portlets? So you mean, okay, just this spacing right here. No, we don't have that right now. And again, that's something that we might address in an update that rolls out additional themes.
I think you'd want some white space.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what we've tried to, the way we've organized things in the way in the current themes, we've kind of tried to skew toward like general standards for readability, and so we're leaving a bit of space between some of these things because that's just kind of the standard that people are using around the web these days. Okay, let's see. Question. question about how a patron will navigate back to home. There's no tab in the toolbar for that. So there's a couple of different ways to get back to the
Why don't you switch to this
home
chair?
page.
So
One of the ways you can do that is there's going to be what we call a breadcrumb trail at the top of the. Do y'all mind muting your microphone while we're? So one of the ways that you can navigate back to the home page is through the breadcrumbs, which are going to be right up here just under your navigation bar. And so anytime you want to get back home, you can just click on this home link here, and it'll take you there. And another option is anytime you click on the site logo, it'll actually take you back home. There's currently no way to get a home button on the navigation menu, although I can definitely understand the desire for that, and I can see if there's any way. But I mean, there's a couple of options here right around that should
want here
and
here?
pretty useful for most users. Sure.
I read this.
Okay, let's see. Okay, yeah, I see those. Where would you like? Excuse me. Where would you like to move those to?
I don't know what he just did.
He just went into
So
administrator so he can do some changes.
Okay.
if you want the library account at the top, so here, I don't know if you can manage to do that. So one of the things that your site will do, kind of, and this is default behavior of the platform. Excuse me, I'm a little bit congested today. Is that when you're creating things, and so this is, I've struggled with how to explain what's going on here because it's a little bit confusing. So if I'm on the home page, so and we've got in the home folder, we're using a specific page as the default view for that folder. So whenever you go to that folder, you see this page, whatever's on it. So what that's going to mean is when I go down here to manage portlets, what I'm seeing is the portlet setup for that page, that home page that we're using as the view for this folder. And so you'll see that there's these two portlets that you've created are there. It says portlets assigned here, so those are assigned on the default view for this container on that page. And then these other ones that you can't hide or move around, those are assigned on the folder itself. And so there's this info message right here that says, if you wanted to manage the portlets of the container itself, go here. And it's kind of hard to see because this is blue and this hyperlink is the same color. But this is a link that you can go to. And right, so when you go here, you're not going to see the ones that you just created because they were created on the page as opposed to the folder. So one option you would have if you want to be able to get the library account on top. So one way you could do that is you could create your Mango and MAP portlets here on the folder itself, and then just have the library account be the one on top, and you can use these arrows to do that. Or you could actually create a new library account one up here and put it above the Mango one, and then you could hide the one that is created here. Now that'll have that'll have an effect because on other folders, because the portlets that you're creating in the home folder are also going to show in the folders that are inside that home folder. I mean, generally, you can change them not to. And I see that your portlets are not displayed. Okay. Sure.
Yeah, I did, but one of the girls that I was letting read, I just wanted to make sure.
Dana, you asked, aside from changing the themes, is there any way to change the colors of the portlet calendar? I can see my pick a lot of the colors in the calendar look dull and gray. It's very hard to tell what dates have events because of this. And color options are one of the things that we're working on implementing, but we don't have that rolled out yet. And I know that there's a couple of, I have heard that feedback that there's some things on the calendars that are hard to read because of the color choices on there. And that might be a case of us just going back and changing that to be.
Hey, shut up.
Oh.
Okay, I quit. Okay. All right.
Okay.
I guess you just
Someone's
moved it.
microphone didn't like that answer. Yeah, so there's no way to customize the colors on the calendar right now, but we have heard that feedback about the colors needing to change a little bit. So hopefully we can. I'll push on our developers to see if we can get the colors updated so that they're a little bit more readable.
This is on that yellow card.
Okay, when I hover over the 24th, it shows 1900. You mean why does it show up in 24-hour time, or like what is it showing me? I think there's a setting for that somewhere.
Yeah, go there.
Although honestly, I haven't messed with it in a while, so I don't remember exactly where it is.
None of them are.
I have a better
He
chance.
assumes a lot of knowledge.
Let me make a note for myself to follow up about that.
Okay. Wow. The best thing to do
The background noise is really annoying. The chatting. How do you send him a little message?
Yeah. Well, the problem is I'm not sure who that is. Now what I can do is mute everybody, but then you guys won't be able to chat stuff.
Yeah, there usually is one along here.
All right. So what I can do is, aside from asking everybody to just mute their microphones again, although I think that the people who are away from their computers right now might not hear us asking that. I can mute everybody's microphones, but then you'll have if you have a question, if you can just type it into the chat channel, then I can answer that there.
Dean, can you hear me?
Yes.
I can't get onto chat. I'm clicking the little thing up there so that I can type in, but it doesn't let me. Have I not really joined? I was viewer 7.
You're in there. You're in
so
here.
Where am I supposed to be typing?
Let me sit down.
I'm so just nothing happens when you hit that chat button?
What chat button?
There's a little like speech bubble.
Yeah, the little speech bubble, it just shows
Where's
everybody else what they're saying, and it says at Dana Perry right now down there. Am I supposed to click in that box?
If you where it says that, click on that, and it should open a menu of all the people who are in here.
No, it doesn't open a menu.
Maybe. And why did we have to listen to it now? No, she said it was.
Not really.
Oh, when did you find out about it?
Yesterday afternoon.
I knew about last Friday, but I didn't know.
I'm not entirely sure why you're not able to access you can see what people are typing, but there's nowhere for you to type.
Exactly.
Okay, still not helpful.
That is odd. I'm not sure why that's happening.
You're going to run overtime.
Verbally, so I'll just watch. Maybe I can.
All right. Jen, the font on the site title, we are looking at rolling out an update that will allow people to customize their site titles in the next release, which we're targeting for late next week. So right now, the only customization available for that is changing. Each different theme will have a different font, but right now there's no way to change that. We're working on getting you options.
Well, the navigation.
Right. I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody just so that we can kill the background noise. So if you do have any questions.
Yeah, it's pretty sad that we have to mute everybody because some people just wanted to mute themselves.
Okay. I'm not actually able. Yeah, I'm not sure why, but it's not actually letting me mute everybody. Again,
and be more less enthusiastic. His mother must just beat him to get him to come here. And there's hope for Hank, but he kind of.
All right, let me
read anything.
My audio connection real quick.
No.
All come up, huh? Wow. Yeah. A little coding here.
Sure, I'll talk. Do you hear me? I don't think so.
I can hear you because the mute is currently not working. So I'm not sure why that is. That hasn't happened before. But I'm working on it. Yes. A question about a folder I made and how it appears once written. Yes, you will get Viewer 20. You will get to hear all of this confusion in its full glory up on the webinar recording section of the help desk as soon as I can post it, which should be later this afternoon.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Wow. Okay, and
did you edit it? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. She just sort of edited it. Just put the stuff where you actually answer questions on there.
Okay.
Or at least put a
so
he can't.
I would love to be able to edit it. I currently it's kind of a heavy task, and so I don't have the bandwidth to do that right now, as much as I would love to.
Dean, is there a way to use a fill color in the title up there with our logo instead of a picture, like a background fill?
Oh, you mean like in the banner image back here? Just
Yes, instead of an image, can you put in a backfill color, a background color as a fill?
Not right now. If you wanted to do that right now, then you'd need to actually create an image that's just that color.
Oh, okay. I see.
Is
I'm leaving. I can't.
Available format, so you can borrow it as a Kindle book. Can you literally do this, or do I have to have my Kindle here? You can do it right now. Can you want this? Well, I don't think I've read that one.
Yeah, we have gone through some stuff on the banners in previous sessions.
Yeah, I just thought I would have these books.
But if you want to go through it, I can go through it with you.
It's kind of like a due date. Yes. Oh, okay.
If anybody else would like to see the steps, I would like to.
What happens is it expires. It stops. Oh.
Turn your microphone
You
on.
don't
All right.
lose it. It's still on your device, and we can deal with that at a different day because you're not to that point.
All right, I'm gonna try to disconnect my audio real quick. I apologize if this kills the meeting, but I'm trying to fix this problem.
What you do once your Kindle is charged and the book is on there,
Yeah.
you connect the wireless connection.
This person said somewhere. I'll say it again. Hey,
you can turn off the wireless on your Kindle.
I
What kind of Kindle do we have? I have a Kindle Fire. No.
So
It's just a Kindle.
my
My
audio
kids got it
options
from
are
me a few
still
years
not working.
ago.
I don't know why.
Okay. It's just one to read. I said I just want something, to read books on. So
Okay, so Marianne, let me figure out what your question is here. You made an event folder and put a test event list in there. It does not appear as a list, but as a run-on sentence.
Bring it in, we'll figure it out. But what you do is.
Oh, sorry. You made an event tab on the navigation bar. Okay.
No, I mean, literally. Well, if you've got books on there, you have. I would have to be, to buy, because I get them
Okay.
from Amazon, bought them.
Well,
So I would
that's
have to disconnect.
odd. What's going on there?
Disconnect the wireless. Yeah. And once you've done that,
Okay, so this is,
it doesn't know what day it is.
so it's not interpreting your line breaks in here.
Oh, really?
For
As
some
long as you
reason.
leave the wireless off.
Hmm.
And if you turn that wireless on, it's gonna know what day it is, and
That is,
in 2 weeks it'll be.
okay, I'll make a note there.
Yeah.
Some-
Okay, so what now? You hit borrow.
This
And-
is unbelievable.
And we will go to your bookshelf, which was in the account.
But what I will say is one of the things you might want to do, rather than using this summary field
Download in YouTube
to
format.
do that, you might want to create a page that has this information in it and then set that as the default view for the container. And that will give you, that one will have, you'll have the whole rich text editor that you'll be able to do that. So you can get that to display the way you're looking for. Sorry, so if you, in this folder, if you add a new page and then you take the text that you're currently putting in this summary field and put it in that page, and then once you've created that, you go to display and you say select a content item as default view, then you'll see there will be a list here and it'll only have that one page. And you just click the radio button next to it and click OK, and it'll show up as, and it'll be kind of like the home one where like you're looking at a folder right now, but this is the default view for that folder, so you're seeing that page.
I always do. I'm a new customer.
So, okay, cool.
I honestly, I don't.
Let's see. I
mean,
know
I
there's a
would have
question
to
up here.
email,
Okay,
email
yeah,
address.
sorry, Dana, about customizing the banner.
I don't know what my, I think I always do a new, I don't know. I'm gonna have to write a password down. And I do it, I won't let you do a new customer probably because I'm on there. So I'm gonna have to forgot my password on it. And do a new password.
Or you can finish it.
All right, well, thank you for your questions, Marianne, and I'm sure I'll hear from you again soon. All right, Dana, can you remind me what library you're with?
Oh, it worked.
Okay.
Okay.
So now I'm in my own account.
You're in your own
No
account.
picture.
It says get library book.
Okay.
So,
And this is free of charge.
well, the library book. Get library book.
Is that a good thing though? Like you guys,
It's a wonderful thing.
What is the address for that one? Is it just mackinac.cloud?
there's nothing on screen.
Yeah, sorry, I'm.
You know,
Okay.
Can you see it right now?
next to
No.
Wi-Fi.
I am sharing my.
Transfer using the cord, which you don't want to have to do. Once in a while, there's supposed to be have to do that. That's what this button is for. You don't have to worry about that button since you've already got it.
So when I go home, it should be there.
If it's
Okay,
on,
Pete.
Because I'm always connected. I mean, I never changed it, you know.
but if you think you're not going to get to it right away,
Yeah.
disconnect the Wi-Fi.
All right.
Because I need
Not
to
at the
get
house
these
level,
read
but
then.
on the Kindle.
And if I need help with that, you'll help me. I mean, I'm sure it's one of my kids, if I remember. Thank you so much.
You're
Will I have to
welcome.
do this again? I think it's a little bit easier because,
You've done it.
yeah, but. wish
And
could
I
cut
will-
3 hours.
All right. So,
You know.
what is your question about customizing the banner?
One thing I didn't realize,
You just kind of want to walk through how to do that?
I know I knew this beforehand, my brain didn't translate it. I
Sure.
downloaded an
So,
audio
okay.
to listen to on the plane.
Let's see.
a
And
year
you're
ago when I went
using the.
to Florida for my sister and brother-in-law's anniversary.
Okay, so you're using the Slate Pacifica
And-
theme. So that's one of the ones that will allow you to have that banner there. So what you'll do is, let me explain it as I'm doing it. So I'm starting here from the home page. So the first thing that I'm going to do is go to the contents view. I'm sorry, what was that?
Still can't see anything.
You know, she was going to get it done before it expired, and then I realized I was past the expiration date anyway.
Let me know if and when that changes. I'm set up to share my screen. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure why y'all can't see it, because I'm seeing that other people are able to. Okay, so we'll start out from the home page, and then we can go to the contents tab. And it's just that I like to go there to add stuff like this, because it's easy to kind of see the folder and everything that's in it. So first I'll make sure that, and I'm just going down to click show all, just so that I can see everything that's in this folder all at once. So it doesn't look like there's anything, there's no banner image or anything uploaded right now, so that's good. So if at the top I go to this add files or images button, then I can choose something that I want to add. So presumably somewhere I have my header image, you know, and we'll say we want a big alligator face to be behind our header for some reason. So I choose that one, and then it pops up with this name and description field right here, and it's got some incomprehensible name from when I downloaded it. If I change that to homeheader.jpg, and then and that's the exact title that you'd want to use, then click upload. Then when you do that, and I'm not going to do that, I don't want to put images on your site, mess with it. Then when you go back to home, what you'll see is that image up here in this section. And so there's two different files that you can do for that. Let me see. And this is all explained as well as I can manage in an article on our help desk here. And
I love it, but
so there's another. So the home header will show only on the home page, so on the front page of your site. If you want that same image to appear everywhere, then what you would do is you would go back to your contents tab, go back to add file or images, choose the same image, and this time you would name it subheader.jpg and upload it again, and that will that'll mean that on every other page on the site you're able to, like, that it'll show that image that's named subheader.jpg. And additionally, if you want to have different header images in different folders, then so both of these ones were in the home folder, and so they're going to be kind of site-wide. But if, say, I wanted in my eShelf folder to have a different header image, then I could actually come in here and do the same thing I was doing in the home folder. Just go to contents and add something named like subheader.jpg, and it will show up in the header only for the eShelf folder and anything that's inside there. So you can kind of add different header images across the site that way. So does that make sense?
So that means that if anything you do on the home page is going to show up on the whole site.
at the time she was.
Yes, unless you go and put something that will override it. And so again, there's the home page header, which will only show up on the main page, and then there's the subheader that would show up everywhere else unless you override it with something in a specific folder.
You ought to try. He thinks I I need to try.
Emily, I see your question. How do we create content in the middle part of our homepage? There's just a list of files and folders. So the way you would do that, and this is an issue of display mode. So
You're welcome.
right now, if I click on this display drop down in the menu right here, you'll see that we've got the standard view selected. And so what that means is that it's the standard view is of the folder, and so you're just going to see a list of all of the contents of that folder. And so if you want to display actual content, then what you can do is go down here to this select content item as default view option, and you can say, okay, I've got this welcome to Dearborn Heights Library System page. I want to use that, so I can change that, and if you hit save, then it'll set that page as the view. So whenever you go to your site, you'll see, and looks like there's nothing on here right now, but you'll see whatever content is on that page. Dana, relating to the calendar color question earlier, is it a way to change the color, the search button on my site? No, the buttons are all kind of, the colors on those are all integrated into the theme, so they kind of change together. One of the things that we're working on right now, there's a couple of, there's a couple of different themes, and then each theme has a couple of color variations. We're working on making that interface friendlier for changing colors on a wider spectrum. So hopefully we'll have something on that for you guys soon, but right now the only way to do that is to change the theme colors. Images are not always showing up in all browsers. I'm getting an error message when I try to set up an RSS feed. And viewer 34, I see your question. Can you tell me what site or what library you're with? Oh, a lot of alarms going off.
We got our picture back.
Okay.
Where's the bubble so you can actually type in a question?
It should be in your. Are you going through the website, or do you have like the Join Me client that you had to download?
Okay, I think the smart part of our duo found it. Thank you.
Oh, all right, cool. All right, so I'm on Lapeer, so images are not showing up in all browsers. So I'm checking through Firefox right here. Are there specific images that you're having trouble seeing?
Is that me?
It's the viewer 34. And let's see, viewer 34. I think you've got, if you can click, there should be somewhere where it says like @Dean Davis. If you can click that and hit @ all, then everybody will be able to see your questions that you're typing. So it'll be a little less confusing for the folks who aren't sure who I'm talking to. Yes, they are working for me right now. All good, thank you. Let's see. checking to see if it looked a little bit differently. The changes to the customization options on the header text are something that I know that that's the highest, pretty much the highest priority for me. So we're looking at rolling out an update this coming up Thursday, so a week from today, and I'm hoping that we can get that in there for you guys. And I'll send out an update prior to that. It'll be a message saying, hey, your site's going to go down for a little bit on Thursday night. Here are some changes that you might notice when it comes back up. So I'll have more updates for you as over the course of the next week about what changes are going to be coming in. And viewer 34, let me check Internet Explorer and see if. So I'm seeing them in all of the browsers that I'm checking, but so I'm not sure why they're not showing up for you. There's a couple of reasons why images show up as broken, but that we're aware of. But I am not aware of any of them being browser dependent. But if you can take a screenshot of what you're seeing and log a ticket in our help desk, just so that we can kind of get more information about what it is that's happening for you, then maybe we can reproduce that and see what's going on. Right. Okay. So the RSS feed issue. So you're trying to create an RSS portlet, I guess. Okay. So, let me see. If our URL is through the Library of Michigan, we'll receive. I know that Sonia talked to us about. I think she said that they will be helping with that. So I don't know that you guys would need to do anything. If they've been managing it for you already, then I think that they'll be taking care of it. But I can check with them. Which library are you with, Viewer 23? Indian River. Okay. Let me make a note for myself here. All right, sure, and I'll try and follow up with you after this one. Christine, as far as I know, it's Chrome friendly. I almost exclusively use Chrome while I'm working in cloud, so I consider it friendly. Honestly, I know more about how it interacts with Chrome than it does with Firefox or Internet Explorer, just because this is the default that I use. All right, so the RSS feed. So, what are you? Let's see. What are you seeing when you try to add the RSS feed? Okay. So, and is that you're seeing that error message when you put in some URL and So I'm able to do that. So are you seeing a different behavior from what I just saw there? Oh, okay. So it may be an issue with trying to link back to an internal part of the site. That's I think I understand what you're saying now. Can you open up a ticket on the help desk and give us and make sure that you include the URL that you're trying to create the feed for, so that we can see what's going on. And so if you're seeing that error message that has a whole bunch of numbers and stuff, we're getting reports. We have an automated system that's looking out for those. So I know it's probably pinging our developers when you hit that. So if you log a ticket and say, hey, I hit this on this site, this is what I was trying to do, then that can help us tie those together and figure out kind of what's causing the problem and what we might be able to help you do to get around it. 26, the meaning of the info inside the blue box about managing portlets. Thank you. So I think, are you referring to this info message right here in the center of the page? Okay. So what that means is you're going to see that when you click on Manage Portlets from any place where you're looking at a folder that has a page set as its default view. So I know that was that's a lot of specific terms in a row. But so right now on this site, I'm on the home, just lapeer.plow.net, and the way that the home folder is set up is that it displays a specific item, a specific page, this welcome page that has whatever they want to put on there. So this is what's referred to as a default view. So if I go to Manage Portlets while I'm looking at that, then it'll take me to the portlet management screen for the page that I was just looking at. And so what this info message says is you're managing the portlets of the default view of the container. And so what that means is you're managing portlets for that page as opposed to the home folder. So if you wanted to manage the portlets of the container itself, that being the home folder, then you can click on this and so now I'm looking at the portlets that have been assigned to the folder itself as opposed to being assigned to the page that we display whenever you go to the folder. So does that make sense? Yes. So when you see this message, yes, that means that the changes that you're making there are just to items that show up for that page itself. To change it for every page, you need to go elsewhere. Yes. And so anything. So say for example, I add this account portlet on the default view, then that means that this account portlet will only show up when you're on this home page. So anywhere else in this folder, you won't see it. And so even if I go to just the contents view, you can see that it's the account portlet isn't there. And so if you want to change things across everything in the folder, then that's kind of what this message is about. So this go here button, if you click on that, that takes you to where you would add stuff that will apply across the entire, like all of the pages in your folder. And you can also reach this, you can also reach this by, if you're looking at the contents view, and you go to manage portlets, then it'll take you directly to that page instead of having to click through it. But so that's how you get to that. Okay, there's a couple questions. The site logo is too big. Do I edit it on the website, or is there something I do in the publisher? I think the easiest thing to do is going to be to edit it in the publisher. And so I know that the recommendation that we'd posted is to have an image that's about 260 pixels in height. Is kind of the optimal size, and so that's going to be 260 pixels would be about as tall as the shaded area that I'm showing right here. So yeah, the easiest thing to do would be to edit it and then upload that updated image. Let's see. When the cloud site goes live, will the website be able to keep its old web address it has hosted through Plinkit? Yes, there are some steps for making sure that happens, and that's covered in the article that we have on here, setting up your custom domain name. And so it'll differ depending on who your web hosting company is. So in this article that we have up on the help desk there, the example we're using is a site that's hosted through GoDaddy, just because a lot of people use that one. But there's other ones. I know we've worked with a lot of people who are using Network Solutions, and a few other hosting companies. I think there's some that are hosted through the like Libraries of Texas or Libraries of Michigan, and those are a little bit different. But you will. So what's happening right now is that you've got your Plinkit.org website, and then you've got another URL that points at that. So what's going to happen is now you've got a Ploud.net site also, and you're going to have to go to that URL that you purchased that's currently pointing at the Plinkit site and change it to point at the Ploud site, and then it'll work. And so the instructions on this article are to help you understand like what kind of stuff you'll need to do there. And I've just got a couple more minutes. So does anybody have any other questions before we conclude this? And I do want to thank everybody for making it through the background noise there. I apologize for that. We're always ironing out kinks in how this goes technically. So we will have a recording of this meeting in its full unedited glory, unfortunately, on the webinar recording section of our help desk for anybody who wants to review it later. And as always, if you have anything that comes up between sessions, you're welcome to log a ticket or start a forum discussion. I know we've got a number of people who are contacting us through the forums right now, asking questions similar to the ones that we're going through here. And so I'm happy to have any discussion or offer any help we need to get y'all's sites looking the way you want them. So thank you for joining us today, and we hope to hear from you soon.